I like that squeak. I like that squeak on it. Just jumping in. As Wilco97 is with us as well. Good evening. Right then. So I suppose, shall I join in? Shall I jump into the topic, or shall we go with something else first?
I know you've got other things planned, so go for it.
We've kind of got topics. We're a bit all over today, but yeah.
Your channel, you can do what you want.
All right, we'll go with something else.
Go back to that.
I clicked the wrong button again. That's
Don't make me laugh tonight. Dear Lord.
Just get on with it. Anyway, yeah, so we'll kick off. What did we watch this week? What did we watch indeed?
Well, we watched something together, didn't we?
Yes. We went at the same time, not together, but we went at the same time.
Well, we were together. You were stood outside waiting for me.
I was. I'm sorry.
You had a bunch of roses, and you were stood under the clock tower, like you said in your ad, and I met up with you.
So, what did we watch? We watched Mickey 17.
Yep. And that's about all we can kind of say about it, really.
Yeah, it's going to lead us into our kind of first topic as such that we're going to talk about. So, yeah, we both went to see Mickey 17 at the cinema, and I think one of us enjoyed it probably slightly more than the other. Because I enjoyed it a little bit more. I thought it was kind of entertaining, and it took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting such a satire with it. And I would like to, at some point, give it another try, just with a different point of view to come up watching it, not expecting a full-blown sci-fi sort of movie, but looking for that satire among it. And I don't think it was advertised in the best way for it. But I thought it was an enjoyable flick. It didn't blow my mind.
No, I think you're crediting it with having more layers than it actually has. To be honest, it's quite simplistic in many ways.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I didn't hate it, didn't like it, just came away not feeling anything towards it, to be honest.
No,
Robert Pattinson is very good. Naomi Aki is very good in it. But the film itself is just... I kind of got to the end of it and I just thought, I've seen a film. That's kind of all I can say about it. I didn't care about it in any way, shape or form.
I mean, admittedly, a couple of days later, I can't remember much about it. Nothing much is stuck in my head about it at all. There's no particular sequences that have sat with me, no particular great monologues that have played on my mind and sat with me for that bit longer.
No.
It was just an okay movie.
I didn't feel like the pacing was that great, if I'm honest. And Mark Ruffalo just annoyed the hell out of me every time he was on screen. It was just how he said about Heart Eyes, where there were certain characters that were there, almost forcing this comic relief type thing that wasn't working. Ruffalo felt like that for me.
I quite liked his hamminess in it. I thought it was quite good. But I think I said to you on the night that I would have loved to see something like this directed by Paul Verhoeven in the 90s, around the RoboCop, Starship Troopers sort of time frame. I think that with the satire would have suited him down to the ground. He would have made a monster movie with it. I think it would have been great. But yeah, I don't think the director was quite right for it.
No, like I say, normally I'll kind of watch something and I think, oh, it was okay, Lynn might like that. And then I'll rewatch it with Lynn in the other room. Hi, Lynn in the other room. I won't put her through that because I don't want to watch it again. It just, like I said, I didn't hate it. It just did nothing for me whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, this is
because like another film I've watched and that's kind of it.
Yeah. So we're both sort of middle ground, but me enjoying probably slightly more than you.
Yeah. You have the high ground.
I have the
Obi-Wan, and I, Anakin, have the low ground.
I can't argue too much against you on this one, though, because I don't feel strongly enough about it to be able to argue against your points, because your points are valid.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your points aren't. But thank you for saying mine are. That's very good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's going to lead us to our first topic. So before I
Okay.
jump into that, I want to jump back to the comments first because there are a few comments on here. Brian Smith is with us as well. Missed that on there.
Hey, Brian.
We could be all over, not Mickey 17 related as yet, but I'll get through the comments and try and hit everyone's on here. Woody's just commented, "Oh, Phil's background has changed and Glenn's mustard picture is now up. Looks good with the chair."
Well spotted, Woody.
Yeah,
yeah.
I repaired some damage and went with a different colour on mine and cleared down a load of shelves as well. So we're green across there instead of the colour that it was. Whatever the colour was, I don't know. Jeremy Carr's back. I either pulled something while sleeping or from lifting groceries because you can't make it in one trip into inside you die.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, just flicking through. Jace, I watched the boxes leave the living room and into the hallway. Big Jace is moving his collection
moving bit by bit. He's moving through the house.
Yes. As Wilco 97 this week, I watched 7 4K and The Ring 2002 on Blu-ray. Both first-time watchers. First time on 7.
Wow. Okay. Did you enjoy it? That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I wonder how it carries to a new audience nowadays. How long are we going on for? About 30 years old now?
I mean,
25, 30?
I think it will stand up. Sure.
Yeah, I do too, to be honest.
As long as nothing too much has been spoiled.
Yeah.
Along the way.
On to Mickey 17. AJ Pink saw it as well yesterday. I agree with Glenn. Left feeling a bit underwhelmed. There we go. Rich Hall. I didn't like Mickey 17 and I love sci-fi. It was just meh. New content. I don't know why people called it funny. It was too overhyped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Jeremy Carr, brutal review.
I don't know if we pulled it apart, Jeremy, to be honest. It's, it's not a glowing review, I suppose. So maybe it is a brutal review. Maybe you're right, Jeremy.
Yeah. We've got also with us, we've got Oliver Blake. Hi, Oliver. Hope you're well.
Hey, Oliver Blake.
We've got Clark of Many as well. Good evening, all. And good evening to you too, Clark. As Wilco 97, in relation to 7 and The Ring, yeah, both were good, and bonus points to both of them for being shot on film. There we go. Woody, I watched this week Snowcake, which was very good. It went in the collection, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 1 will go in the collection also, and I've started House of Dragon Season 1.
Busy week.
I've not got to House of Dragon yet. I came off the back of really enjoying Game of Thrones and then just never started House of Dragon. I don't think I was quite ready to dive back into that space.
You can have too many dragons, I feel. Yeah. You need a bit of a break.
Clark of Many, I watched my Warner Brothers discs rot. Has anyone actually started checking their Warner Brothers discs, either DVD or some of the Blu-rays that are reportedly getting rot as well?
Well, the Blu-rays. There is a full list now. I don't know if you saw this. Yeah,
I did. I was going to talk about the rot on another live stream, but
okay, no.
Because I've not prepared a list for it. But yeah, I was going to jump into that.
Most of them seem to be the dual layer ones, don't they? That seems to be where the issue arises.
Yeah. So Meows a lot. I watched Scooby-Doo and Kiss, the Rock and Roll Mystery original movie. That's the entire title on the case.
Amazing.
I don't know if my kids have got that one somewhere as well. They went through a period of, they still do like Scooby-Doo, to be honest with you.
I like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I was in a toy shop about 2 months ago, and what was the one thing I bought myself? I'm skidding over this way.
Oh, my good God.
The one thing I bought myself, I bought myself a little mystery machine. Because I'm weak. But I was there, and that was there. And I thought, I'm going to have that. So I did.
There you go. Rich Hall. I watched Aaaaaand for the first time last night and was very surprised. I can see why lead actress won the Oscar, and it might be my first Criterion Collection pickup.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. Johnny,
I was having a conversation with Phill. Sorry, I was just going to say I was having this conversation about Aaaaaand with you, and I worry with you that because you don't see something in the moment, and you hear reviews and you hear people talking about things, it builds an expectation for you, and quite often kind of doesn't live up to where your mind's at with it. But
we'll see. We'll get there.
Yeah, I hope so.
When the Criterion comes through that I've always spent on, I'll be claiming money from you if I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Johnny, sounds like Mickey 17 is one to miss. Not surprising, as I can't stand the sparkly vampires man anyway.
Oh, I quite like him. I was saying last week, I like that he made his money from Twilight, and then rather than all these people that do rom-coms and they stay in that lane because they know they can do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Pattinson just went, you know what? I want to work with Cronenberg. I want to work with, what's his face? Who just did Mickey 17? Bong Joon-ho?
Yes.
Yeah. And he does these really weirdy, beardy projects and stuff, and I kind of respect him for that.
Fair.
Yeah.
As Wilco, I wanted to watch a film today, but then you got on to stream.
Oh, no, just break away from us. Go and watch something worthwhile, honestly.
John, the movie man, rewatching Rescue Me seasons 1 to 7.
I feel like you watched that, didn't you?
It's a great show, yeah. It's a really, really solid show, and it's one I would revisit eventually as well, to be honest.
Is it not The American Casualty?
No.
Where you have kind of something goes wrong at the start of every episode.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It's not. No, it's far better.
I quite like that about Casualty, though. You were guessing for a good 10 minutes what was going to happen, and then a car would fall out of the sky, and you go, "Oh, I didn't see that coming."
Fair. Anyway, just moving slightly adjacent. Mickey 17. It was just mentioned that it sounds like it's one to miss. And I don't think we're going to miss it for too long at the cinema, because it's one of the movies that it's got a speedy streaming and physical release. And it's coming to the US on digital March 25th, which is literally a week away and a couple of days. A week on Tuesday.
2 weeks after cinema release is ridiculous.
It's amazing.
For any film.
Yeah.
They're not encouraging the price of cinema tickets, and then you've got the flipping thing streaming 2 weeks after a cinema release anyway.
Yes.
They are not encouraging people to go back to the flicks at all.
I think there's a big issue here. There's a lot of people been posting about it recently. I meant to set up a slide for it, but clearly I forgot this one. I saw a comment earlier that I did screenshot it because I was ready, or I thought to screenshot it. But it was basically saying about being conditioned to not go to the cinema because you'll be expecting it on either physical or a digital release within a couple of weeks. Here we go. Beyond Fest. Studios are going to continue conditioning audiences to stay at home. The only hope is that filmmakers negotiate longer windows when they sign on to direct. And a lot of people are blaming the studios for these sort of early releases onto digital or physical. And I don't think it's always as clean cut as people make it sound, if you like. I think it's a lot to do with money on the studio part. And if a movie isn't performing at the cinema, I think they like to get it out as quick as possible onto digital, because then they don't have two lots of tens of millions of pounds to spend on marketing. If they had the longer...
but then people aren't seeing it at the cinema because they know it's going to come round fairly quick. It's a vicious cycle in that respect, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And so half the problem is that the studios just want to make money. That's their main aim. So it's weighing up the pros and cons of if it benefits them to not pull it from the cinema, but have that digital option out there straight away, so that they don't have multiple costs incurred from advertising. Because if you left it at 2 or 3 months, then you have to sort of re-advertise the film, and it costs more, tens, possibly even hundreds of millions. Well, not hundreds of millions, but tens of millions to re-advertise it and get it back into people's minds. And I don't know which way they're aiming. I don't think it's necessarily...
COVID was the problem, and it's made people lazy.
I think it triggered...
At the start of COVID, Warner Brothers did that announcement, didn't they? And they released like the new Matrix movie, and there was X amount of movies, 10 movies or something, that were all coming thick and fast.
Yeah.
And it's just set a precedent now. Whereas when you go back to like when we were at Blockbuster, you saw a film at the cinema, 6 to 8 months later or something like that, it would come on for rental. And then you would then have to wait probably the same again before it was available to purchase.
Yeah.
and we're so far away from that kind of format of releasing films now. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And you've now got like big things that are kind of, the new that Wake Up Dead Man, the new Knives Out movie.
Yeah.
And Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro. These are all Netflix. And we still don't know whether they're actually going to get a cinema release for a week or whatever before they end up on Netflix. I mean, they did with Knives Out, so I'm kind of hoping they do with other things and they realise that. But
if you'd have known, obviously, Mickey 17 is probably a bad example because you didn't think of a lot to it, but if you'd have known that there was going to be a digital release 2 weeks after the cinema release, would it have stopped you going to the cinema?
Honestly, I go to the cinema as much as I do now, simply because we've got that Odeon card, and we've paid in advance, and we see as many movies as we want. Without that in place, no, I don't think I'd have gone to see Mickey 17 anyway.
Right.
And then 2 days after we did see it, although I wouldn't have seen it, you've ended up with an announcement for streaming anyway. So, no, I feel like I'm going to the cinema more simply because I've paid ahead and probably wouldn't do so much if I had to go and pay £12 every time or something.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the release date is. I don't think we've got the release date for the physical yet. But there's a lot of moaning that people are being also conditioned to accepting digital as an option rather than physical. Do you think there's an argument there, or do you think it's just a matter of just how easy it is to plonk something on digital?
I think the way the market is, and these lovely people that are commenting on this, all physical media collectors, that isn't going to change. I've frozen.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to see if it comes into life, but it doesn't seem to want to. Oh my god, I'm so shocked. Look. So no, I physical media isn't going anywhere until they pull the plug on actual production of it.
Yeah.
People are still going to buy it.
I think the only reason that we're getting digital before, with such big windows, digital before the physical, is just purely down to the convenience of digital. Literally, they could dump a file on iTunes or on Voodoo or whatever, and it's done like that. With the physical, it's got to be an order with the processing plant. The processing plant has to have a window to be able to produce them and get them out there. And I think that's the only reason that we've got big delays with the physical release. It's just purely down to availability.
We do have physical release dates for Mickey 17.
Go on.
May 13th.
May 13th. I've popped the links down below for Zavvi and Rare Waves and that anyway. So if there's details you want to check out after our epic review, if you want to buy it, Zavvi and Rare Waves are just down below as well. So just jumping back to the comments, Jerry Cheer is with us as well. Good evening, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
As Wilco97 want to watch Black Hawk Down, as I've never seen it. It's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
Yeah. I watched The Cell this week, which I've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
And I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was much more poor man's Silence of the Lambs than I was expecting, which, in a good way, I liked that aspect. I was worried it was going to be far too sci-fi, far too bogged down in, going into his mind and all that kind of stuff. But there was much more of a story around it, which I appreciated. So
I was going to chat to you a bit more about The Cell, actually, but it's been that long since I've seen it that I don't think I can hold a decent conversation because I remember just being about it. It was an okay movie when I saw it, but I've never been tempted to watch it again. And I saw it at the cinema on its release how many years ago? Yeah. So I can't hold a conversation.
One that had passed me by, but I quite enjoyed it. I didn't mind it at all.
There we go. As Wilco97, what's Mickey 17 about? It's about 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, longer. No, it didn't. What's it about? It's quite simplistic, really. And I think that is a lot of its problem.
Science fiction film about workers called expendables, which when they die, their consciousness and memories get transferred into a new body.
Yeah, they just get cloned and they just keep going around. And it's basically a guy called Mickey who's trying to escape Earth, just desperate to get off, signs up to be an expendable, and you just follow him, really. And they land on another planet, and that's kind of it, really. Yeah.
Paul Grimman, I've sold and rewatched my DVD of David Cronenberg's Rabbit and Shivers, 2 movies almost 50 years old now. There we go.
That's scary that they're that old.
50 years old.
Yeah, still both sat on my shelf.
Yes. Jeremy, pull the new stuff quick so they can bring old stuff back into 4K theatres. I'll tell you what, I saw a film listed for tomorrow evening that I was tempted to book and go and see, and that was Heat. They were bringing that back into the cinema for one evening only, and I thought, I'd quite go and see that over a lot of the new releases. It's quite amazing, really, that I would rather go and see an old movie that I know rather than some of the newer stuff.
It's quite a regular thing now, isn't it, that they put old stuff on?
Seems to be one a week at least. At least.
I think I'm going to pop tomorrow. I think I'm going to go and see Black Bag, that Steven Soderbergh movie.
Oh, right, yes. I'm glad that's released now, actually, because I am sick to the back teeth of seeing that trailer. It was on every movie for the past 2 months.
And it's only an hour and 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do. Anyway.
Brian Smith, would you guys pay to see a classic movie at a theatre special reshowing, like The Empire Strikes Back or Wrath of Khan, if you already have it in your collection? I would.
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Yeah, it depends on the movie.
We were both very tempted before Christmas to go and see Die Hard, weren't we?
Yes, yeah.
When that was back on, but it never came to fruition. But
no, I don't think all of them have enough screening times for me to be able to squeeze them in, like Heat tomorrow night. I just couldn't squeeze it in, I don't think.
Yeah, but no, definitely would do.
Yeah. Jeremy, COVID didn't make me lazy, but tacos, burritos, and pizza make me lazy.
Too true, too true.
Cameron of Dune. It's a goal of mine this year to go to the cinema once a week. This week I watched Black Bag.
Oh, hey.
Next week I'm watching Snow White.
Snow White's getting like a lot of praise, to be honest. Yeah. There's legit kind of reviewers that aren't, part of the establishment, aren't bought to go, oh, yeah, it was amazing. I went in not expecting anything at all and have come out really surprised and really enjoying it.
Well, Snow White, I actually auditioned for that once.
Then Rachel Ziegler got the part instead of you. Yeah.
It was for an actual role, and I had to sing a song in the audition, and then I did something else as well. And I
can't believe you didn't get it. Yeah.
Well, I passed that first one. They invited me down to go and audition, and I had to be with the choreographers and things like that. Can you make it down? I was like, yes, fine, I can make it down. And then I did a COVID test, and I had COVID, and I couldn't make it there. And they were like, right, yeah, so look then, bye. That was it. So I was like, oh. So I can't have been terrible, but then again, I can't have blown them away with my singing skills.
You could have been the evil queen.
It was listed on the audition as bandits or bandit. I don't know if it was bandit. I don't know if it was something else. It's one of those cloak and dagger things where they just won't tell you, but it doesn't matter. I got COVID.
Nice.
So, Findlay Archers. I absolutely love going to the cinema. I enjoy the movie so much more on the big screen. I do as well. There's no distractions really there.
I do. It is the distractions type of thing. I mean, when we were sat the other night watching Mickey 17, there was those two women further down, a couple of seats away from me. Mm-hmm. And all the way through the commercials, all the way through the trailers, they were yeah. And I thought, as soon as the film starts, just froze again. And what a moron I look as well. Dear God. I'll keep talking. I thought, please don't talk through the film. You've paid to watch it and listen to it. I have as well. And then as soon as the BBFC thing came on, they were quiet as mice. That's my concern with the cinema, is the people. And there we go. Other people around you.
Yeah.
And seeing a phone light up, that drives me batty. Anyway, but yes, big screen is the way to see things.
Mad vinyl and movies. I saw Mickey 17 and was fairly disappointed. The tone of it just didn't strike a chord with me. Loved Parasite, so I was a bit disappointed. I love Parasite as well. Saw Black Bag last night in that film of the year.
Film of the year so far. Excellent. Yeah, I'm probably definitely going to see it tomorrow.
The Spacebook. As a collector, I'm willing to entertain the thought that despite the fact I'm able to perform most day-to-day tasks at a reasonable standard, including ablutions, I may be insane.
Okay, then.
I think we are insane. And
insane in the membrane.
Just jump onto Facebook. In all seriousness, I really have to limit myself. Even searching on eBay, I've caught fear of missing out for things I've barely thought of in years and blew a hole in 50 sheets now and again.
Wow.
Speaking of blowing holes, I think I've got a really bad wind.
Excellent. Excellent.
Not really. I was going to lead it on to our topic of the week, I think, because it's about time.
It's the topic of the week.
That was awesome.
Phill still hasn't got a jingle.
I've got to sort this out, man. Anyway, topic of the week was about collectors being insane. And there was, was there just one thing that sparked it off? I might start with the smaller thing that kind of sparks me off. And it's, again, we're back down to social media and the peacocking that people do about their collecting and things like that. I saw a comment. I have close to 5,000 Blu-rays and DVDs. I fully support physical media. I mean, I know they're supporting physical media, but to me, 5,000, that is just blinking insane.
I'm hoping the foundations of his house are strong enough to support his 5,000.
Well, I don't think they're all actually in, or not all of them were actually in the original boxes or anything like that. I think a lot was sleeved and put into these cases. They had pictures of these cases that had got to the side of, I don't know if it was his bed or the side of a wall kind of thing, but 5,000 is just incredible. Is the 5,000 movies that you enjoy enough that you would potentially go back to watch? Have you actually seen 5,000 movies in your lifetime?
4,998 I'm at the moment.
So you're close.
So close. Black Bag tomorrow and one more later in the week and I'll be sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you can't. I get it. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm lying. That was a complete and utter barefaced lie that I just came out with. I don't get it anymore. I used to. At one point, I was kind of, I love film, therefore I must collect everything to do with film and every film on the planet. But it doesn't make you any more of a film fan or anything. It makes you a collector.
Does it matter that if you're talking about a movie that you can't say, oh, I've got that? What does that add to the conversation when you're talking about a movie with someone? If you've got it or not, it doesn't really matter. Did you enjoy the movie?
That. I've never seen it, and it's been on my shelf for 18 years. But I've got that. Oh well, it's worthwhile then.
I want to be part of the conversation. Yeah, I've got that movie. It doesn't matter. 5,000, man. I was going to try and work out how many a day you'd have to watch them all inside like 10 years, but I couldn't be bothered. But it's literally going to take probably the average viewer 30 years to work through those. Average.
I'm going
to 3 or 4 a week or something like
that.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I won't bother then.
We're slowing down this thing, man.
Okay.
To me, that just seems ridiculous. It's one thing having a collection of the movies you love, having a few hundred, up to 1,000 or something like that. But it's quite another 5,000. It's just incredible.
As Jeremy's just pointed out, maybe he's young and still has time to get through 5,000. Maybe he did. The 3-year-old did post on his social media that he has 5,000 Blu-rays that his mum takes him out in a stroller to go and purchase. Maybe so. You might be right.
I'm going to carry on with this in a second. I just want to get to a comment from the Spaceman because he was asking about the Snow White audition that I did. Was the song "Hi Ho" by any chance, Phill? No, it wasn't. I got the choice of song. I could sing what I wanted, and I picked the dentist song from Little Shop of Horrors, and that's what I did.
Okay.
But anyway, crazy collectors. Where were we?
Where were we?
Is there a number that makes you absolutely bonkers insane to have your collections, or is it the space versus what you have?
69.
Oh,
we're just throwing out numbers. We're not throwing out numbers. I just thought we were throwing out numbers that made me crazy. I don't know. I mean, honestly, each to their own. As we've said previously, I had a much, much bigger collection that was just far too out of control. And people are commenting now with their many, many thousands of DVDs and Blu-rays they have.
Yeah. What have you? If you know your numbers or a rough idea, just shout them out in the comments. Let's see if we can get through these, and I'll tell you what nutcases you are.
I think you're a proper mad collector when you know exactly how many you have.
Yes.
Because I think there's a point where people have got a ridiculous amount, and then that becomes a point where they've got 7,112.
Yep. I'm going to whip through some comments then. Some of them I may miss. I apologize if I miss them. Where are we? Spacebook. Just saw the original Karate Kid is back in cinemas. That's tempting. That'd be one that I might take the kids to be honest.
Oh, wax off.
Jerry Carr, if I were living within the Great British Empire, I'd go to the cinema to see Square Eyed Geeks do a live commentary of their two favourite movie double feature style. That could be interesting as well.
Could be interesting.
Where are we? Just an FYI, every time Glenn sings a jingle, he has to get paid usage rights for this stream.
Oh, do I?
Topic of the week, Glenn.
Yeah.
You're getting paid for it.
Pay me.
Yeah. Right, here we go. As Wilco97, don't even know how many I have. I'll go count right now.
No, because we'll lose you for the next 4 hours. Come back.
Jerry Carr. Oh, that's in relation to the 5,000. Maybe you'll have time to get through 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. With all the new things, I don't know if you'd ever get back to them. Big Jace, collecting is about getting films you like or may like. It's not about numbers of how many you have. I
agree with that, Big Jace. Let me just leave Jace up. Oh, Kevin Smith. He's got Kevin Smith with him this time.
So Mayor's Lot, are we insane? Short answer, yes. Long answer is also yes.
Yes.
But it will sound more insane the longer you let me ramble.
Mm-hmm. I think we're all guilty of that. Definitely.
Paul Pryor. A few years ago, I bought 4,300 DVDs from a guy who owns a charity shop for €150.
Wow.
What did you do with them all, Paul?
Yeah. Have you watched them all, Paul?
John the Movie Man has 6,804 DVD Blu-rays catalogued so far, and still many more to get organised.
Wow.
That's incredible. How do you store them all, John? Do you have shelving for them all? Are they all kept in their original cases? Because that number's got to be difficult to keep hold of. Not to keep hold of, but to keep organised and find space for.
I feel like when John got to about 2,000, he then probably started counting. But up to that point, it was just like, I've got a big collection.
Yeah. You know what? Does it get to, when you've got a lot, does it get to a point where you think, oh, I'm doing well at this collecting lark. I'm doing really good. Look at my numbers of things. I'll tell you what, I could possibly get them all. I could get all the Blu-ray, all the DVD.
Every film ever made.
Yeah. Is there a point that it stops mattering what you're buying and you're just adding for the numbers because you haven't got something? Not that you like it or don't like it, but I'm getting it because I don't have it. And it just becomes one of them things that just sit on the shelf. Yeah, I'm not sure. Clock of many. Collect. Eyes open, wide awake. Where were we?
Yeah.
I have space for 300 more, then it's a problem. Not now. That's Clark of many.
But what if, Clark of many, Clarky one of many, what if they don't make another 300 movies in your lifetime that you like? Will you still just buy 300 to fill that gap? Or
I've got 300.
Yeah, I've got 300 Rise of an Empire as well. Yeah, the sequel.
To be honest, a lot. I'll be impressed when it's over 9,000.
And not until then.
Yes. Jeremy Carr, after chilling over the years, are currently between movies, TV series, and CDs under 2,000 discs.
Yeah.
That's still a fair number, to be honest.
Yeah, I genuinely couldn't tell you how many I've got.
Yeah, Big Jace, Blu-ray and DVD probably around 1,000.
Jace has worked that out on, he's got 10 boxes, and they've got Got about
I'm going
100 in each box.
to whip through these, and then we'll get on with the craziness. AJ Pink did a page last year, got 303 in the collection now.
Wow,
Still
good.
Decent amount still. Mad Vine on movies only got a few hundred. So Mio's lots over 500 movies, 164 TV series.
Wow.
John Robinson about 4,000. As Wilco.
Who's with John? Who's with John on the picture? Sorry.
Sorry.
Come back. I can't see who that is. Can you see who that is?
I cannot.
Who is that, John? Who is that? I can't see who it is.
As Wilco 97 might have just over 100, but not too sure. Woody around 500 movies on DVD, Blu-ray, and 100 TV shows, documentaries on the above formats also. Jeremy, after culling over the years, probably have under 2,000 discs between movies, TV series, CD and vinyl. Blue Corner, my guess is close to 3,000, is nothing really.
Right.
Cracky. Brian Lovell, I own a massive 130 titles. This includes DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and I only buy what I generally enjoy and will revisit.
And that is, for me, what your collection should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you buy things that you're not going to revisit, really? Just to make up numbers.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Clark of Money, spread your collection all over the house. That way it looks less insane. But to see it all at once, oh my, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Terra Incognita, I got like 2,411 2-bedroom or 2-room, but I really enjoy what I have. Will I be able to watch them all again? I'm 40 and I doubt it. Place is an issue, but I want to gut to the streaming. Jerry Carl, I have both 300. There we go. Pariah, I have sold a lot of them, but I'm still the proud owner of about 10 copies of Sex in the City, The Hangover, Meet the Parents, and American Pie. John the Movie Man, been collecting since I was 8, now 50. Blu-rays and TV series are on display on custom-built shelving in my office. DVDs are in sleeves for storage. I use an app on my phone to keep track of titles. See, John did it the smart way. I don't have an app on my phone, and I've double purchased.
Well, you purchased something not that long ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then realised it was already on your shelf.
Absolutely. Johnny, I like random rubbish and straight to DVD titles. They ain't going to streaming, and they're cheap discs. Fair.
It was Elizabeth Shue on John Robinson's picture.
Jerry, 100 biscuit tins, 254 Ks.
Wow. That man loves his biscuits. What
Absolutely.
can you say? Yeah.
Right. On to the second part of our collector craziness. There was an announcement recently that Daylight from Kino Lorber was being cancelled. And did you see this? That they were cancelling the release of the 4K of Daylight, but some people have been receiving theirs in advance. So they must have been shipped out by certain companies before they were pulled from the shelves. So, in true fashion of many a collector and scalper, these started hitting eBay, and the prices are just ridiculous. Daylight, $130, $150, $190. These are all sold, by the way. So, because they announced that Daylight was being cancelled or pulled, prices started getting crazy. Scalpers started coming out over eBay, and some collectors were just massively overspending, because if you'd have thought this title was being fully cancelled, would you have spent this kind of money on this sort of film?
No, I'd have just, I'd have settled with the Blu-ray of it and not worried about it. Yeah. I mean, the joke of the whole thing is, I'll push ahead with this a little bit. You sent me one, that one. Yeah, just spiraling out of control. Look how many bids. And then they announced, it's not cancelled. It's just delayed. There's just a few things that need to be sorted out behind the scenes, and then it will get its proper release. Yeah. So thankfully, we were both saying, well, with a bit of luck, these people will have seen this and they start pulling their bids. And that's exactly what happened, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it plummeted down from 200 and whatever it was down to suddenly like 105, and it was on its way down.
Yeah, so I think it was literally later that day, or maybe the following day. Bill Hunt at the Digital Bits actually reached out to Kino and they confirmed that they will be back, that it's not being cancelled. But suddenly there was this massive, massive frenzy for Daylight. And as you say, the bidding went crazy. This one, it was 283 when I checked, probably last night. And then I checked today, and thankfully a lot of people have come to the censors and started cancelling bids. But people were willing to pay up to this 280 odd quid, and possibly more. It had a few days left on it because they thought the title had been cancelled.
Yeah, for Daylight.
For Daylight. Now, you know, I understand it's a kind of fun movie. It's not a great movie by any chance.
Is it a £300 to have it in your collection movie?
Not in the slightest, no. Especially when both of these movies that were cancelled by Kino we've seen before. They have there's a double set with both of them on Blu-ray that can be picked up for 15 quid.
Yeah.
So it boggles my mind. It really boggles my mind that people are willing to spend up to 300 quid on this average movie just because it's being cancelled and they want it. They want the
kudos of owning it. It's it's the massive collecting FOMO of, well, I want to be one of those people that has that. Yeah. Fine, have it. Pay 300 quid for it, and then in 2 months' time, when it's released again properly for £28-30, you're going to look a prat, but you honestly, probably won't even think it.
Daylight, I'd have been gutted spending 30 quid on it, to be honest. It's not great.
The Blu-ray is in CEX for like £8.
Yeah.
If you're that desperate for it, do that.
I mean, people that enjoy it, getting the 4K release at 30 quid or whatever, then it's fair enough. If you enjoy it like that. Myself, I wouldn't be willing to pay 30 quid for it. I don't think I'd even be willing to keep it in the collection. Maybe watch it again, but I certainly wouldn't want to have it beyond that. But yeah, it just got crazy. And this is what got me thinking that collectors are absolutely nutty. Is it the prestige of having it when no one else has it, or is there something else? What's the pull and draw to overspend on something that just...
Well, this is like, I mean, this, for example, is like the ultimate limited edition, isn't it? Because there's only a handful that ended up out there. Basically.
Yeah.
So that is the draw of it, the pull of it. You know, it's no different to these limited edition sets of mediocre films that everybody goes crazy for just because they're limited edition.
Yeah.
When they've been readily available for such a long time and nobody's given them monkeys. And then as soon as you say it's limited, that's it. It goes into a frenzy.
I think, hand on heart, I think the reason that they've been pulled or cancelled, I think it's probably down to a licensing issue, either by some music on there or one of the extras. I think the licensing for one of those has had issues that they need to iron out, whether that be changing the song or paying extra royalties to the song owners or the owners of the image on the extras. I don't think there's much more to it than that. I just think it's a licensing issue somewhere behind the scenes.
It's a behind the scenes thing that needs ironing out. And there's thousands upon thousands of those copies of that film sat in a warehouse somewhere. What is happening with this camera? Oh my God, as soon as I move away from it. There we go.
Great screenshot.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump to the comments and see if anyone else has got anything to add on this Daylight shenanigan. Jerry Cheer, I got my Daylight from Amazon USA. Jerry, bang it on eBay, man. Get some money in, get the Blu-ray to tide you over, and then buy it again in a few months when it's out.
Yeah, Jerry, be one of those scalpers that everybody hates. Dear wit, dear wit.
Now, you don't know what they're going to change, though, to be honest. If you want the original songs in there or the original extras, then something could be missing. You could be on a
I genuinely don't think they're going to be reprinting. I honestly think, like you say, it's some licensing issue or on some song or something like that
it's usually
hasn't quite been ironed out. And it'll get sorted in the next couple of weeks. And everything that's sat in a warehouse will just be banged out to everybody.
Yeah.
For the $30 or whatever they paid.
Absolutely. As Wilco 97, 150 quid for a single Blu-ray, you can balls. Fair enough. Blue Corner, Dante's Peak and Daylight are not cancelled. They are delayed and will come back at an unknown time.
Yep.
Woody, I no longer stream or have TV license. I'm sure there will be a time when I'm so far behind on new TV shows, but have my collection to revisit.
I mean, I don't think you're missing out, to be honest. There's not that many TV shows. No. And if anything is worthwhile, it ends up getting a physical release anyway.
Jeremy Carr, Daylight isn't amazing. No, it isn't. It followed, I remember it when it came out, because it sort of followed on from Cliffhanger, more or less, isn't it? And people expected a Cliffhanger-esque romp, if you like, and it just didn't live anywhere close to Cliffhanger.
Jeremy's only said that because he's a vampire.
Fair. Wilco 97, I never heard of that film until yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't rush out to watch it.
No, don't go out your way, honestly.
No. Watch Cliffhanger instead. Woody, I'm not sure why the hype for these two movies. For me, they aren't in my collection as DVD or Blu-ray.
No, I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know neither of them.
No, even Dante's Peak, I'd pick. I forgot the name now. Dante's Peak and Volcano, the Tommy Lee Jones one, because Dante's Peak and I keep saying Inferno. Dante's Peak and Volcano came out around the same time, and it's at a time when year after year Hollywood would have the competing movies that were the same subject matter but coming from different angles, and I thought Volcano was the better film.
What was the one with Cusack? Was that 2012?
Yes.
Yeah, because 2012 and The Day After Tomorrow, they were a similar time, weren't they?
No,
there was a spate of those movies, wasn't there? But
same director, but
right.
You're probably thinking of Armageddon and
why am I thinking
later directed Deep Impact.
Okay. Oh, Deep Impact. Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
But coincidentally, I can take us onto another subject. Now I've mentioned Deep Impact because the same director has another movie that has just literally been announced to come into 4K, and that was The Peacemaker.
Fairly slick segue for you, that was.
Yeah, it was good. I just happened upon it. I didn't intend for that to happen, but Peacemaker is on its way to 4K. But I don't think that deserves a 4K, to be honest, either.
I don't think it needs it at all, to be honest.
No. It was, to be honest, honestly, it's one that I think I picked up on iTunes quite a few months ago because I fancied a rewatch, and it was like $1.99, and I thought, you know what, I'll grab the digital because it's cheaper than rental. It doesn't matter if I've got it physical or not to me. I just wanted to revisit it. I think it was when we were watching through ER again. And Peacemaker for some. I'm sure they enjoyed it, but it's coming to 4K.
I didn't mind it. I've always liked Clooney anyway. Nicole Kidman I can take or leave, to be honest, but because it was directed by she
was a director on ER.
Yeah, I was going to say directed episodes of ER, didn't she? I don't think it translated well into an action movie. I remember the car chase and all that kind of stuff was a little bit lacking.
Yeah, interestingly though, I think it was the first movie that was released by DreamWorks Studios, if I remember rightly.
DreamWorks SKG.
Yeah, it was an okay movie, nothing special, but say it was Clooney sort of carried it, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, not a lot else to say about that one. It was just a new announcement that popped up.
Does it need a 4K? No, not really. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is one that I would watch again, but not one that I wanted to keep in the collection.
No.
For me.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, back to comments. John Thompson, anything that becomes limited in numbers increases the chase for it. Is the chase better than the catch?
I genuinely think it is, yeah. I really do.
To be honest, John, I think that sort of lines into a lot of the editions. A lot of the hard box editions are the same. It's more about the chase and getting it than the actual catch itself. The limited edition box sets, the steel books, it's all that sort of that sort of thing, isn't it?
We've said before, it's the rush of going, yeah, I've got one, I've got it, it's amazing. Oh yeah, I can't wait. And then it comes through the door and you unbox it and you go, oh yeah, it's perfect. It's just what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then you put it on a shelf and you do nothing with it.
Absolutely.
Barely glance at it again. But that whole build up to it, the foreplay of it all, is where the fun is.
Right, and maybe that new Daylight release has a new special feature. I don't know if it does, to be honest. Don't know how keen they are with their extras on that one. It's the one that I've not looked too closely at because it's not caught my attention.
Jerry Chia, you obviously got yours through. What are the extras on there? Anything half decent? I'm going to have a look on here. I can't even remember what we Daylight. That's what it's called.
Yeah, Clock of Money. It'd be interesting to see if there are any disc errors on the handful that got out. So I'm not sure it's disc errors. I just think it's a licensing or something that's contained either in the movie itself or in the extras.
Well, the 4K review is identical to the Blu-ray, 4 out of 5. So, I mean, that's praise. And the sound's 4 out of 5. I can't say anything about the extras. So,
no.
Jerry, come to the rescue.
Terra Incognita, Instagram in many ways ruined collecting. I'm not on it, but for a while when I was younger, and it became a competition of snagging the rare pieces just to have it, is my take.
It's the new keeping up with the Joneses and proving,
it's
you're
not
bigger and better and wealthier and bigger film fan because you own it.
No, it's not just Instagram though. It carries across onto Facebook and even onto YouTube. To be honest, there's a lot that when it's the unboxing of the steel book, and it's gets you bigger numbers if you have a rare piece. It gives you better viewing figures, so it becomes that thing. John Thompson is no different to those limited release music CD box sets. The prices go bonkers, then a few months later there's a repressing, and then the price collapses.
Yeah, I mean that's the same with all Blu-rays, to be honest. There was somebody this week that I always joke about where they go, "Hey, you know the limited edition we had that completely sold out? We've only gone and found a box in the back, so for a limited time, here's some more." You think, rubbish.
We've been cleaning our warehouse.
Yeah. Our computer system is so crap, we weren't aware that we had 50 copies in the back. We thought we'd sent them all. Of course you did. Whatever.
Jeremy, I don't know who's leaking Godzilla stuff at Criterion, but Mothra versus Godzilla and Godzilla versus Astro Monster are both the next 4K from them.
And we know Jeremy's rabid for a bit of Godzilla action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still not watched Godzilla X Kong. I picked that up on digital for like £5. I've still not sat and watched it yet. I need to get on it.
You need to, because everybody's talking about it at school.
Yeah. Anthony Lecchiello, all of the Rankin Bass animations are Japanese made. As Welco, I've been tempted to pick up the Pierce Brosnan bonds on Blu-ray, but all of them are cheap. Sorry, just whipping through. Rich Hall watched Volcano again on Disney Plus a few days ago. Would actually look really great on 4K, even with the obvious graphics now. Woody just chimed in Deep Impact. Yes, it was that I was.
It was, yeah.
Trying to think of. Woody again. Peacemaker is an okay movie, but as you say, doesn't need a 4K, especially when other more significant movies do.
But there's so many significant movies that do, and we end up with really ridiculous things.
There is one Kino one coming up that I do want to upgrade onto. It doesn't matter if it's 4K, a nice upgraded Blu-ray would do me to prefer, but they're doing the new edition of Sneakers, the old Sidney Poitier and Robert Redford movie.
Yeah.
I think that's a great film. I think it has aged with the tech and things like that in there, but it's still such a fun movie. And it looks like it's got a big, nice, fat documentary on there as well. So I'm keen on getting that and hoping it'll be part of their summer sale at Barnes & Noble.
You never know with a fat documentary.
Johnny, Peacemaker, it's really scraping the barrel to chuck out 4Ks just for the sake of it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite an odd title for Kino to pick up, I think, to put out. It's very strange. Strange one for them.
I think so. Rich Hall. I have to admit, I hate seeing Kino announcements. It means we have to pay a fortune to get the movies over here in the UK. Rich, you need to do what I'm doing now, man. I'm going to start keeping lists of Kino, Scream Factory, and Criterion titles and waiting for the summer sales, trying to hit them all at once, and then use the package forwarding from the US. So get everything sent to a US address, use packaging forwarding to send them across, and hopefully get them all on sort of half-price sales. And I think it's June, July time that it should be Kino and Criterion and potentially Scream Factory as well.
Yeah, well, there's a Criterion one this Tuesday, isn't there? 50% off.
Yes. I think it's flash sale direct through Criterion, though, I think. I'm going to have to have a check.
Yeah, I don't think it spills over, but... tempting.
As well, 97. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but there was a re-release of the Cornetto trilogy at the end of the month with a new Shaun of the Dead transfer.
I feel like you did. Somebody did mention it. I would think it was probably you as Wilco. I'll stick with my trilogy that I've got, I think.
Jerry Cheer, Daylight has audio commentary, making of, EPN feature, and Wherever There Is Love music video. I bet that's the sticking point. I'll put money on that being the sticking point.
Quite possibly.
But that doesn't explain Dante's Peak, to be fair. But
I mean, we don't need music videos apart from on I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
How do I deal? Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Woody, I've not seen any of the Godzilla movies since the Matthew Broderick one 20 plus years ago. I enjoyed that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
The kids enjoyed it as well.
I didn't like Godzilla's chin in it, but apart from that, it was an enjoyable film.
As Wilco, have either of you imported Uncle Buck 4K? Heard that's a fantastic transfer compared to the old Blu-ray.
No, I've just seen Brian crop up as well. Hi, Bri. And I believe Brian got it through. Do you like it, Brian? Is it worth it? Uncle Buck 4K. Answer me, Brian. Brian. Answer Brian. Brian will answer.
No. Jerry Cheer, Daylight is just a 4K scan of the original negative, not a restoration on this, although I think it deserves a restoration effort given the age. Blue Corner, just use Wow HD, free shipping, then they have 10 to 15% off sales pretty often.
Yeah, I'd use Wow HD. That's where I got, what did I get through? The Substance. That's what came through from them.
Yeah, Rich Hall.
And Hush. Yeah.
Bit of semi-related news. If you don't know, Mondo are doing their $10 global shipping per order promotion right now for film soundtracks on vinyl.
Nice.
I just worry about the packaging, but then I did have a packaging from America this week, which was packaged really nicely.
Okay.
John Thompson,
you know, an inflatable vinyl doll. Do you need really good packaging for that? I suppose you don't want to get a puncture or anything, do you? But yeah.
John Thompson, Sony have just released a new 4K player for the first time in 5 years. Are they trying to get ahead of the future demand for 4K releases? Apparently, they've removed some functions of the player, but also put the price a little bit higher. Apparently.
It'll have a newer chip. Therefore, let's charge more.
Yeah, hopefully, though, it's a player that doesn't have difficulty that we seem to be seeing with the Panasonic players with a lot of the discs. I've seen the Panasonic UB820 have issues with certain discs from certain suppliers.
Well, a few people say that with the current Sony one, but that's the one I've got, and I've not had an issue with it at all. So I don't know if it's just temperamental and not weird across the board.
Yeah. There we go. Last movie standing. Hey, Brian. Howdy, y'all. Did you guys see the Kill Bill Lion Gates limited steelbooks are getting an upcoming UK release?
Yes. I think it's now, isn't it? Or very soon?
I am waiting on them for
standard release.
Yeah. I'm hoping for standard
biscuit
release.
tin.
Absolutely. Hoping. There we go. Brian. Yes, Uncle Buck is one of the best scans of the year. Looks amazing.
Comes out 31st of March over here. In fact, Brian, thank you for your reply.
Yes.
Best scans of the year.
Big shout out to the Clerk of Many. Thank you very much for the super chat, sir. Might be just enough to get Phill a coffee and Glenn a bottle of Night Nurse. Thanks for your efforts, guys. Collect.
Nobody might have noticed, but I'm actually on my second mug. This is.
I've got. I bring in coffee in a mug, and then to keep me going, I have insulated mug with a second coffee in there, so that keeps me going. I do enjoy my coffee, so thank you very much, Clerk of Many. Much appreciated.
And I love my night nurse, so whoever she is. I don't know her name, but it's Lynn. Sorry, yes. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Lynn in the other room.
Jeremy Carr, I plan to get Uncle Buck 4K, but holding out for a sale. Yeah, I don't think it's one I'm going to bother with. I'm not interested enough in the movie, to be honest.
That's how I can't remember anything about it, other than he's clearing out a closet at some point and a bowling ball either falls on his head or falls on his foot or something. That is literally the only thing I can remember about it.
Yeah.
Was Macaulay Culkin in it?
Yeah.
Two things I know about it.
AJ, do you think we'll get another Criterion sale over here again this year? I hope so.
Yeah,
they've been very hit and miss in the UK. The last sale that we had, it was a good sale. Don't get me wrong, but they had a tendency to withhold certain films being in the sale, so it wasn't a full on like Barnes & Noble. It's like 50% off absolutely everything, new release and everything. We've never seen anything like that in the UK. There's been the odd sale for the odd titles, but I don't think the sales are anywhere near as strong.
Yeah, I mean, in the build-up to it, it made it sound like it was going to be across the board, but then there was things that had just come out, like Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the sale. There was quite a few that were kind of left out, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Whereas, Criterion sale in the States is absolutely everything except for pre-orders.
I think we'll see another sale from Criterion in the UK, but I think it'll be... I don't think it'll be full-on 40% like this one was. I think it'll be a few titles that get reduced, but I don't think it's going to be as big. No. But you never know. If the numbers were high enough on the sales, it could be a regular thing. But I think we'll be waiting till the winter time to see it again.
Yep.
Where are we? Anthony, the only 4 Kino Loba I've got: What's New Pussycat, Heavy Traffic, Fritz the Cat, and The 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. I have a couple. I've got Out of Sight, the George Clooney flick. What a bit of Clooney run today. And I've got Deep Rising as well. There's a couple more in here somewhere, but I think one's Buried Alive.
Yeah, I think I've got Out of Sight. I know that. You were peeved that I got a slipcover and you didn't.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I remember it. Because I've got a slipcover and you didn't. What else have I got that's on Kino? Silence of the Lambs? Silence of the Lambs, yes.
Yeah.
But that was probably it for Kino, to be honest.
John the Movie Man, I'm still good with my HD DVD of Daylight with a ton of special features.
And that beautiful red Amaray.
I used to like the red Amaray. That's why I wanted the HD DVD to win over Blu-ray, because I preferred the aesthetics of the red. As Wilco 97, I wish Planes, Trains and Automobiles got a new transfer, because the previous Blu-ray and now the 4K are riddled with digital noise reduction and is super waxy.
Oh, is it really? Because I feel like that was only last year, wasn't it, over here? Planes, Trains and Automobiles?
Can't remember, but Woody says, let's see that outside slipcover, Glenn.
Okay.
Oh, he gave him up.
What are you doing now? In my weakened condition. Oh,
we get the chair in all its glory there as well. Look
there
at
we
that.
go. Well, we love a bit of mustard chair content, don't we?
Absolutely.
I'm even going to go and kneel on it provocatively because I know where Out of Sight is.
You like? You've got
say,
mustard bookends between your Shining poster and your chair. It's like mustard bookends there.
It is. It's it's a nice pop of colour because all of my walls are black and things like that. So I'm going to go over there, but I'm wearing really horrible jogging bottoms.
Fair. So, I'm going to chat about. I'm going to shrink it down because
please do.
Last week I covered the topic of is it better to have less in your collection, because I quite liked, once I cleared my shelves, to have the clear space on top. And when I cleared down my shelves for the new paint job that you can see behind me, I actually started the cull. I started culling, Glenn,
The cull.
and it's in full flow. This is a lot of stuff that I've taken off the shelves, DVD, Blu-ray, and whatever else wise, and that isn't the full extent of it. There is more than that there as well. I've absolutely cut through a large chunk of my collection, and I've got it to a point. I've got myself to a point with it that I've got this massive pile now in the middle of the maroon that needs sorting, but the whole shelves and the whole look at the collection, it just feels fresher and more accessible to me at the minute. And I want to carry on with the cull, but because of the sheer volume of stuff, I need to get this shifted. I need to shift all this out before I carry on clearing out anymore, because I've got myself into a state now. And looking at this pile, it feels overwhelming. The stuff to get rid of, but the shelves and what I have are just feeling a whole lot better.
Yep.
And it's weird. It's weird to know that I've picked out some banger titles, and I don't feel like I'm missing them. They're not gone yet, obviously, but I'm not bothered that they're going. I don't feel bothered that they're going. I feel better about my shelves.
You're not missing them, but that's because they've not gone anywhere yet.
Well, they're not. They're sat here in the middle of the room.
So they're not gone, so you're not missing them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I said this to you when I did mine. I mean, I got rid of hundreds upon hundreds to condense it down to that.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, you know, that takes up one little corner of the room. And, you know, we just talked about out of sight. I know exactly where it is. I can put my hand on it straight away. Whereas, as we said earlier, you bought a copy of a film because you wanted to watch it, and you'd completely forgot you'd already got a copy of it sat on your shelf.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen now. It's nice to anyway. There's my slipcover. It's that nice art. It's that
Daniel
nice art.
Glenn.
Oh, it's nice, and oh, look at it. Look at it. Oh, in all its cardboard glory. Look at that. Look what you can do, Phil. You know your boring little amaray.
Yeah.
You can. What these do is they slide over the top of your boring little amaray, and they just make it look nicer. Do you not think? Do you not think it looks nicer? It looks nicer than yours, doesn't it? Anyway.
Doesn't matter. We don't watch the slipcover.
We don't watch the slipcover. We just see the beautiful cardboard spine of the slipcover.
Yeah.
That just sets the film off a treat. Just makes the film more enjoyable, I think.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Jeremy says it's all about that honey mustard.
All about that honey mustard.
John the Moving Man loves the chair.
Thanks, John the Moving Man.
Brian's just added the Barnes and Noble online sale will usually have pre-orders as part of their Criterion sales as well.
Oh, okay. I read somewhere that somebody had asked the question and they stated it wasn't including pre-orders. It was 50% off absolutely everything other than pre-orders, but they might have got it wrong, and then I might be telling you wrong.
As Wilco97, how many of those called titles have you actually watched? Honestly, as Wilco, I have no idea. I've not done a sort through as yet. This was just sort of a process of taking titles off the shelf rather than looking through what I've watched and what I haven't. It was more about whether I wanted to watch it or whether I will watch it or whether it's going to get watched anytime soon. That it got whipped off. So it's one of the things that I do need to have a check through, see what I have got, see what goes. Some of it I will be showing in my video on Thursday. If I can get it edited down in time, you'll see some of the things that have been pulled off the chair. But yeah, it was an effort, and it feels overwhelming at the minute. So I do need to go through a bit closer.
It will feel overwhelming. You've done a lot of pulling off this week, haven't you?
I have. Woody, you see, Glenn, that chair is golden in more ways than one.
It is. You know, I mean, I keep saying I'm going to have it recovered, and then more people keep mentioning it. And then Lynn went, you do realise you're not going to be able to have that covered.
Yes.
You see, look. Yeah.
There we go. John Thompson, tell us more about the mental processes of your call, Phil. Have you regretted getting rid of any of the titles and you want them back?
He hasn't got rid of any yet.
No, they've not gone yet. So there's no regret yet.
It's a pretend call. It's not real. Don't believe everything you read.
My mental process, it's weird. I've got a very weird relationship with my collection and collecting and things like that. And it's just at a point now, just when I was seeing things over in the shelf, and then certain title catching my eye, and I'm thinking, I don't really like that, or I don't know if I'm bothered about watching that again. So as I've whipped through, it's been, have I already got it? Is it a double dip? So can I get rid of at least one copy of it? Sorry, with the thumbs up, just put me off completely. Then, do I want to watch it again? Is a big one, because there's some movies that I had in the collection that I previously loved, but if you ask me, do you want to watch that again? It's in your collection, and I was like, no, not really. If I don't feel like that, if I don't feel like watching it, then
You shouldn't be
I
there.
don't want to keep it
Full
anymore.
Yeah,
it's no longer about having the full collection of absolutely everything that I may want to watch in the future. It's just about having the right titles for me that I want to turn around and grab anything off the shelf and hand on heart say, yes, I would watch that again. Now, I don't want the titles that are sort of, I don't know, I'm not too bothered about that one. I don't fancy that tonight. It's got to be a hard fast, yes, I will watch that. And I'm trying to keep it to that and just have my space clearer and the clarity back. I mean, honestly, this is sort of about physical media collecting a lot and things like that, but I do use digital a bit as well. And some of the considerations are, am I bothered about if I have the physical with the extras, or should I just get rid and then digital be an option some point in the future if I do want to revisit it again? I think I said earlier that I picked up Peacemaker on iTunes. That was like $2.99. And to me, that film, I wanted to watch it again, but it's not important for me to have that in the collection. I just wanted to watch it again. I can't go to Blockbuster and rent it now, so a cheap £3 digital is fine for me. It's not about having to have it in the collection just in case it gets removed from streaming, or just in case. I don't want to collect just in case. I want to collect because I love something. Sorry. Go on, Glenn, add something.
No. I agree with what you've said. Like I said, I've been saying this to you for a long time.
Yeah.
It feels nicer just getting rid of them all.
Mm.
I've genuinely not missed. Like I say, I wish I showed you one receipt once, didn't I? And it had like 168 titles on it or something that I'd traded in one hit.
Yeah.
I've not missed a single one. There's never been a point where I've gone, well, I fancy watching such and such tonight, and then I've gone to try and find it, and I go, oh no, it must have been one that I got rid of. That hasn't happened once at all.
Yeah.
Not missed a single title, which just says they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
John, have you ever called a film, then forgot you got rid of it, and then later rewatching it, and then waste time looking for it, and then the horror of your call is self-realized?
No, I haven't at all.
I don't think there's probably a DVD here and there that I wouldn't say I regret getting rid of, but there's the collector in me is like, oh, I should have still had that in the collection. Why did I get rid of it? It should still be in the collection. But reality is, it's probably a film that I'm not really going to watch all the way through again. And it was when I was feeling that urge to collect everything again for certain directors. And it was the Meet the Feebles DVD. And for some reason, not so long back, I thought, I shouldn't have got rid of that DVD. I should have kept it for my Peter Jackson collection, because then I would have all his films completed. And I kind of regretted it for a split second, but then the realization hits that I'm not bothered about Meet the Feebles movie. I thought it was funny at the time, but now I don't think I'd find the same humor in it, but I'd be interested in the making of and things like that, because I think Peter Jackson is a freaking wonderful director, especially back then. It was really interesting. And I'm not into it for the film. It's more the director. And that DVD didn't have anything extra on there, and it would have been a waste of time to be keeping it. So there was a slight regret that I got rid of it, but then I realized that I didn't actually want it in my collection for what it would have been, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think just because you like Peter Jackson doesn't mean you're going to love, and I mean love, every single film that a director does.
Yeah.
You're just not. I really like David Fincher. I couldn't get on with The Killer.
No.
Fassbender movie. I couldn't get on with it. Mank. I wasn't a huge fan of Mank either. Neither are in my collection. I mean, granted, they're on Netflix, but as we've spoke about, there's options to still get them on a physical media disc if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to have them in the collection.
Yeah.
I still really like David Fincher, but there's certain David Fincher films I like. I've said this about Cronenberg as well. I think I always thought I was a Cronenberg fan, but I'm a fan of certain Cronenberg movies rather than his whole catalogue of movies that he's done. So I'm just, But the collector mindset would go, I like David Cronenberg, therefore I've got to own every single David Cronenberg film, and it's not how it needs to be at all.
I'll tell you what, though, if they did release Meet the Feebles on a Blu-ray in a special edition, and it was laden with extras from behind the scenes and making ofs and things like that, I would be straight in for it, because I like the process and I like seeing the process. And I think it's incredible how Peter Jackson got something like that made back then, when he had directed, what, 1-2 movies before it?
Yeah.
So he'd done 1-2 movies and got this massive puppet feature that was just completely batshit crazy. And it interests me. Not bothered about movie, but the behind the scenes stories I'm into. Absolutely. Jerry Carr says, keep the titles that give you the warm and fuzzies. Yes. As Welcome 97, Blair Witch Project, second site replacement discs got sent out. Better go, so I might pick up the film now. It's back in circulation. I don't think I'll be picking that up again. I think
I've still got the original release of it, and I think that's kind of enough for me.
Yeah.
For the amount of times they go back to the movie, I think I don't need to go out of my way to spend more money on it.
Yeah. John the Movie Man, I just don't understand why people care about slipcovers so much.
No, genuinely, I don't. I've said, realistically, you should just go through and just sell all your slipcovers.
Yeah.
And I've done it before when there's been kind of like a collection of 3 films. Well, look at I bought Raiders of the Lost Ark. That had a slipcover. Temple of Doom had a slipcover. Last Crusade didn't have a slipcover. I don't care. I can happily throw the other 2 slipcovers away.
Yeah.
Because it's the film that matters. It doesn't matter about some silly slipcover. But the only reason I go on about this is this matters to Phill. Because I got a slipcover and Phill didn't. That's all. That's the only reason I'm saying it.
I would have liked, there's a couple that I would have liked slipcovers from it in a specific section on my shelf that it's not just Blu-ray. It's got, there's books, there's, I think, a screenplay for something that are all related to the film. So I've got like the Goodfellas screenplay and then the book that his kids, Henry Hill's kids wrote called On the Run. And then I've got the Goodfellas disc. And it's all a mix of stuff. And I've got the Elmore Leonard novel out of sight. And it would look so much better if it was in a slipcover next to the next book rather than it just being a DVD case.
Like that, it would, wouldn't it? It looked so much better.
It was just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah, shame you didn't get one, isn't it, really? But
anyway,
yeah.
AJ Pink. So what's the conclusion? Our collector's insane.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We
and
have
I think that was the thing that I'm not showing on there, the Daylight. 300 quid for Daylight.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally, the film isn't worth that. That is purely for the kudos of going, yeah, you know, the really short run that came out, yeah, I got one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, 2 minutes later, mate, they all came out for everybody.
And holding 5,000 odd discs as well.
Mm.
Not everyone's going to see that as insane. I do now. As I'm cutting down my collection, I think that seems crazy.
Now you've started your little call.
Little call. Yeah, Dutch Film Buff is with us as well. Good evening, Dutch.
Hey, Dutch Film Buff.
Hope you're well. There we go. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of erring as I'm flicking through the comments, just trying to find. Pariah. I had Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, The Frighteners multiple times in my collection over the years.
Yeah.
I still have Bad Taste and Brain Dead on DVD. I haven't managed to find a Blu-ray of them yet that's reasonable price or of decent quality.
Well, we've been hanging on as well because Arrow, for many, many years, have supposedly been doing a Peter Jackson box set.
Yeah.
That has just not come to fruition for whatever reason.
Yeah. Jeremy, the hunter-gatherer gene is strong in us all.
Somebody that made me laugh, honestly.
John Thompson.
Somebody else came out with that comment this week when it was regarding collecting. Lynn asked them what it was, and they went, "I don't know. It's a bit of I suppose, like a man thing, a bit of a hunter-gatherer type thing." And she did laugh in his face, which was understandable. Yeah.
Anyway, John Thompson, do you think slip-covered films look better displayed forward-facing on your shelves?
Oh, I don't display anything forward-facing, if I'm honest.
When I cleared down my shelves and had a little bit more space, I've actually planted one forward-facing on here at the minute and deciding whether to do it with a couple more.
Are you now? And what is that you've done it with?
I have done it with Scream.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, just something random. I just did it, see how it looks. I might do it and I reorganise again.
I've thought about it. I thought about it with some of the nice collectible books I've got and things. Have them on like a book stand is the words that were eluding me momentarily. To kind of display them because so many of them have got nice covers and things like that. But
yeah,
anyway, I'm bothered about blues.
I'm going to kick us off on something else now.
Go on then, do it.
This could be a very short one though. Have you made any pickups this week?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
There was one I forgot last week that I'd actually spoken to you about as well. I got a really good deal on it and finally decided to upgrade Evil Dead 2. Meant to mention it last week, completely forgot. But so yeah, then my other two were one I'd mentioned last week when we were talking about going to see Mickey 17.
Yeah.
And I was on about Robert Pattinson and Mia Goth in High Life. So I did pick that up. That was $4.99, £5.12, I think. Yeah, so I thought I'd give that a bash. I don't necessarily know if it'll be my kind of thing. And then the other arrival, which I think a lot of people had arrive as well.
Oh, I didn't realise you had it through.
Yeah, I sent a picture of it.
Did you?
Yeah, there was this and a poster tube that I sent you a picture of. You just pay no attention, do you?
Sorry?
You sew up yourself. It's all about you. Oh my God. Yes, because that came and then I got the posters for X, Pearl, and Maxine. They came on the same day. Yeah. Oh, into my I was talking last week about spraying those frames black and putting them up, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
So I've just got a couple of things in there for now, and I'll bring this back round. There we go. What did you get, Phil? Anything?
I didn't get any physical media as such. No discs. I got no disc content. I've been getting rid of things instead of buying things this month. Not saying that there hadn't been things on pre-order and potential things that I got tempted by. I've just not gone into picking anything up this week. But the one thing I did get through was something PlayStation related. We're not exactly on physical media, but I got a frame thing.
A frame thing?
Yeah, I just thought I want some better artwork and things around the place. So
you bought a broken controller?
I bought a broken PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
And I thought
and paid the same price as one that was new and working.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I just wanted some nicer bits around. Now, I've sort of, because I've not just been culling the physical media discs, I've also been culling a lot of the smaller collectibles and things like that I have knocking around the place. So there's a lot of those gone. And I just want better, more interesting pieces of stuff if I'm having anything. I've cut down a lot of what's on the shelf, to be honest.
I think you're just becoming a grown-up, aren't you? I think that's a lot of what it is. Yeah, well, a little bit. Yeah. Not too much, yeah. Getting older, not growing up. There's a difference.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the comments. Exodus Attack. There's your potential birthday present to Phil. The slipcover. Slippy birthday.
Slippy birthday to you. Could do. I probably won't, but yeah. Could do. But I won't.
I'll get one day. I also started... This is... When you're sort of looking for the best editions of your favourite movies, I have not fallen completely down the rabbit hole, but there has been temptation to get the limited edition or the box version of Roadhouse for that Vinegar Syndrome did. I've looked at it a couple of times, and I think people are selling it. I've seen it for a couple of times around £100, and the temptation's been there. But then you sit and think, it's like, why am I upgrading a box? It's literally the same disc. Why do I want to upgrade a box? Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I'd like to get to stand out on the shelf, but £100 to change the bloody box. What's wrong with me?
I actually didn't like that artwork, from what I remember.
But it's in a box, Glenn.
Doesn't matter, you fool. No, it's that artwork. I didn't like it. I wouldn't go for it anyway.
On the 4K, I believe.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too fussed. Not too fussed about that.
I looked at that, and then I looked at the Australian release as well. I think that had a lenticular, and I was like, "Oh, shall I go for that edition instead?" And then I realised I was just going down crazy town, looking at buying things just for the sake of it, to have a bigger, fatter box on the shelf.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be unheard of for you, would it? Look at Boogie Nights. You rebought Boogie Nights, the exact same disc, just for a box. Yeah. Well done. So, in answer to the question, is are collectors insane? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts. Absolutely loco.
As Wilco 97, did you see Ted Lasso season 4 got announced? And do you think it will get a physical release quicker now that seasons 1 to 3 go on? I don't think it will. I think they will when they wrap up the story, be it another 3 seasons or 4 seasons. I think they'll package that together as well once they've lent on the popularity of the series.
I think it's put Apple in quite a poor light, if I'm honest, because they were like, it's come to a close now, and then they were like, right, so we've got Severance. What else have we got? Oh, we've got nothing. Should we bring back Ted Lasso? So he's apparently going to be coaching a female football team.
Yeah.
A female soccer team this time around.
I think it was going that way in the last season, but not for Ted Lasso, but for Roy Kent. Roy Kent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it out. Yeah, Roy. Yeah, I couldn't get on with the last season. I think it had kind of lost its magic already. So I'm really not bothered about season 4 at all.
John Robinson got Deep Blue Sea and the Penguin Biscuit Tin.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a few people posting the Penguin Biscuit Tin because I think a lot of people had problems with the slashes across the spine of the steel bug.
Oh, okay.
I've posted a couple of times. Well, when they've been unpackaging things in poor ways, just the slashes across the steel.
And for those outside of the UK, a penguin is a chocolate biscuit as well, a chocolate bar, a chocolate biscuit. So they do belong in a biscuit tin. Anyway.
As Wilco 97, the only thing I picked up this week is Assassin's Creed Shadows as a pre-order on PlayStation Store.
Nice.
Jeremy Carr likes your Evil Dead 2.
Thanks.
Anthony Piello has picked up nothing. No purchasing for me this time, just taking a break for now.
Take a break for now, Anthony, and then in a few weeks' time, go mad, go crazy, order 16 things.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fair. You don't have to... To be a collector, it doesn't mean you have to buy everything. Have to buy something every week. Just collect the things that you love and buy when there is something there, not just for the sake of it.
Yep.
You're always welcome here, no matter if you've bought something or not.
You're always welcome here, even if you're Jeremy Carr.
Woody, my pickups this week was Brooklyn Nine-Nine 1-8 box set from a charity shop for £8. Bargain in my eyes.
Absolute bargain. Well done, you. Yeah,
that is a bargain. So meows a lot. This week I got the 1967 Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the Herculoids Complete Original Series on Blu-ray.
Never ever heard of it. No, the Herculoids. Tell us more, meows a lot. Come on.
AJ Pink picked up Region A Criterion Persona on eBay. Recently got a Region 3 player, so they're taking advantage now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been doing as well. I've not had a Region 3 player until about 4 months ago. Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think there's a couple of titles that I have that are Region America, Region A or Region 1 that maybe coming your way?
Yes, there is. Well, there is one I've asked you to put to one side for sure, and then you mentioned a second one as well.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Maybe I swap them for an out-of-sight slipcover. Wouldn't that be nice?
Lynn Drew, has anything actually left the house yet, Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
How much time do you think I've got, Lynn? Jesus. I've not started sorting yet. It's literally, I'm trying to think where I got to with it, but the pile is actually bigger than this now. I've got another 2 boxes that I've got to sort through on it, but I've got to edit the video that I did for the call and the challenge that I had calling us all. Then I need to sort it all out. I've got to pick ones that are going to CEX, ones that are going to eBay, ones that are being donated, and wherever else. So it's
the other 99% of the pile that's going back on your shelves.
No, there's not that going back on the shelves at all. I'm into, but I've got to do the filming of the YouTube videos, do the editing of the YouTube videos. I've got to go to the full-time job. I've got to take care of the kids. And I've also had an audition to do, which I got done this afternoon, which is taking up a lot of time. So there will be an evening. I'm not promising a time frame, but
got to write the theme tune, got to sing the theme tune. That'll mean nothing to you because you don't watch comedy shows.
Jerry Carr, 51 watching, minus 30 likes equals 21. You
Barstools.
Yes. Jerry Cheer, pickups this week. Obviously, Daylight and then Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2.
They're still talking about doing a third one of them, aren't they?
Yeah, I've heard that mentioned.
Do you want to tell Jerry that you were in Sherlock Holmes? Oh, no, wait.
You weren't in it, no.
Were you in the end?
No, thankfully.
Yeah.
Jerry Carr, Boogie Nights. He bought Boogie Nights for the box, but stayed for the Johnson.
He did. Phil loves a bit of Mark Wahlberg for some reason. Anytime there's a Mark Wahlberg movie, he's in straight away.
Three Kings. I thought Three Kings was great.
That's the only Three Kings and Boogie Nights.
Basketball Diaries.
Perfect Storm. Yay.
I wasn't keen on that one, to be fair.
You love a bit of Wahlberg.
I've never been Perfect Storm up.
You love a bit of Marky Mark and his funky bunch.
Woody, Pigman TV show is out on physical media, is it? Didn't realise that.
But like I say, only in Biscuit Tin. Biscuit Tin or Biscuit Tin 4K. Yeah, so it's only, if you want 4K, you've got to go with Biscuit Tin. But it is on Blue and DVD as well.
Yeah. Alter Dre, Universal should release Argyle on Blu-ray. Did Apple buy them out on that? Did it say with Apple?
I can't remember. Was it Apple? I didn't like it anyway.
Yeah. Anthony, less spending and more watching for me. That's my motto.
Yep.
I'd like it to be mine, but anyway, Terra Incognita. I lost my stuff in the January cyber sale from Vinegar and bought the big LED or Lego for $150 plus taxes.
Lego. Yeah.
I'm not sure
what defense. There is no defense.
The other one is the Tenant ended up with lots because of the sale.
In my defense, there is no defense. That should be the motto of all physical media collectors.
Jerry Carr, not sure if this is more like a support group or church, but I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
The Church of Doubles. I don't know. As well as 7, Warner Brothers just removed all Looney Tunes from Max today, so that's another reason to buy physical media.
Yeah,
Is it though? Don't go buying Looney Tunes just because Max removed them. Go buying Looney Tunes if you love them, just because Max removed them. No, just be careful what you're buying for. They'll come round again. They're worth too much money not to. So don't lose your shit over something if you don't care that much.
So you just said shit now, and you changed somebody putting shit to stuff.
I don't want to overdo it though. You don't keep repeating it.
Oh shit! Sorry, shit. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Thanks, man.
Shit.
Johnson, Chronicles of Riddick, limited edition with slipcover. Is that what? No. Jace, there are a few films I have to call. I've got 3 editions of Back to the Future Blu-ray.
Yeah, but that way you can watch it 9 times if you want to.
Yeah.
3 threes. 3 threes.
Yeah, I get it. No. Jeremy Carr, my brother, is the same way about Marky Mark. Have you seen Fear with Marky Mark? Woody, Ted movies were good, in my opinion. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but now then, Mark Wahlberg isn't the person that I literally don't mean makes them. You know, it's all about Seth MacFarlane, really, and it's all about the bear. You could replace Mark Wahlberg with anyone, and it'd still work. To be honest, but I probably feel that way with Mark Wahlberg in most things. You could replace Mark Wahlberg, and it'd still be an okay film.
Yeah. Dutch film buff. Last physical media I bought was the SureScope 3 set.
Phil's only clicked on that because Phill has the SureScope sets, and he will never watch them, but he keeps hold of them.
I want to watch them.
I know you want to watch them, but I just don't think you ever will.
No, to be honest, with the call, I have got rid of some of the. Well, I am getting rid of some of the Shaw Brothers movies. I thought because I'm not getting to them, I don't need to keep them all. So the individual ones are going. I'm keeping the SureScope box sets, and we'll see if they last on the shelves or not. I don't know, but they are ones I do want to get to. I do want to dig into them, but I can't have too many that I'm just not getting to. So there,
sensible.
Yeah. But,
so in your defence, there is no defence.
Exactly.
See, it's the motto of the collector.
I'm going to just run through a couple of other comments. Have you got anything else you would like to add? Because then I might start to wrap us up soon.
No, go for it. Like I froze again. There we go.
Yeah, what's happening there? Are you tapping it or?
No, I literally just kind of waved my finger near the lens, and it goes, "Oh, hello. Sorry, you're still filming." I didn't realise. Yeah, so very strange.
Right. There we go. Let's read through these few, and then we'll wrap us up. Jeremy Carr, fun fact, Wacky Races is super huge in Japan, and in the US we're getting a Blu-ray, and so many pre-orders are getting bought up to ship to Japan versus people pre-ordering here.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're right, Jeremy Carr. That was a fun fact.
Pariah. Mark Wahlberg played a good psycho in Fear, and one of his first movies, I believe. Yeah. John Thompson, Phill, is your call real? Have you put some films on a naughty step?
Yeah, John, that's it. He's put a pile of things together. He's taken a photo of it, and for all we know, that's all back on his shelf. Boo! Boo! You're so fake.
No,
so
all
fake. You do everything for social media. You're so fake.
Anyway, I've muted Glenn now, so you won't hear him. So all the ones in the picture are really being called. There's more that have added to that to what you saw in the picture that are being called. I have some on the shelves that are kind of on and need to be sorted through step. So I'm playing with Glenn at the minute with muted mics.
You're not playing with me. Rephrase that.
So yeah, the stuff that you see in the pictures will be going. There is stuff still on the shelf that I've yet to sort through that are kind of on a notice step, but they don't form part of what you saw here. I wanted to get rid of this stuff that you saw here before I attack it some more as well, if that makes sense.
So there was a lot of thriller video coming off there.
I'm waving at it because I'm not even using my hands anymore now. Jeremy, so what should we prepare for on the next stream? Anything juicy? Honestly, Jeremy, feel free to throw up a subject. I'm all open at the minute. I tend to
start to laugh like Muttley now. We've been talking about wacky races.
I tend to kind of see what gets under my skin or what happens through the week and then form a thing around, because sometimes we'll be sat at work and something will pop in my mind and think, I want to talk about that. That really annoyed me, and get on it that way. So there's nothing juicy. One of the topics. I was going to look through some of the DVDs or Blu-rays to see if anything had some rot, and probably talk about the collecting rot and things like that. But yeah, anything that you want to add, suggest away. We're an open book, or we're open books, or something like that. But yeah, if Glenn has nothing else to add, I'm going to spid farewell.
Spid?
Or not.
Is spidding farewell?
One more retro fun. Do you have a culling system, or is it random? My system is to go through the collection and just have a think of, do I want to rewatch it? Am I going to rewatch it? Do I care if it's gone or not? And I kind of sort through them that way. There's no other way to do it. It's yeah, quite targeted, quite thoughtful, really.
Thoughtful.
In a way,
quite thoughtful.
It's, if nothing grabs me, if it's I don't want to rewatch it, then what's the point in having it in the collection?
Yeah, you could have been doing this bit by bit over the years, though, but no.
Could have been. No, at the time, a couple of years ago, you asked me, my collection was too important. No, it's my collection. I've earned this. I've built this. I will not get rid of it because it's my collection. No one can take it from me. And now I consider if, in fact, it matters, because if it's not going to get used, it doesn't need to be in my collection.
Correct.